Ah, ah, ah,
Ah,
ah.
ah, ah. Hi. We are here yet again. Thanks for clicking on our faces. We are here tonight, though, to talk about Invincible. Friday nights are for our Invincible wind down. If you're drinking, great for you. Leave us a like. I will be indulging in some water tonight. Jack, what about yourself?
You know what I got? I am a ball of fire, baby.
Yes, awesome. Non-spawn.
Eventually, I hope to be sponsored before my liver turns black or something like that. I hope it's not too late.
Oh, we got a comment already.
Oh, what we got? What we got?
Hey, Dan, thanks for watching. Literally just finished the episode. I've watched it twice now, so
Oh, fantastic!
I'm very excited to talk about it. We open up pretty much with Mark. He is every time, you know what? Sure. I'll talk about this later, but every time I forget to post that picture I took of that cosplayer with the Invincible outfit on. But back to the show. So Mark is supposed to be graduating. He's graduating high school finally, right?
Hey.
But he's too busy fighting crime. He's over in Washington, D.C., it looks like, fighting this bandit. I forget his name. Yeah. Oh, we got images today. Get it real.
We got images. We came prepared. I mean, this is kind of after the matter, but this guy, you know, one of my favorite things, I don't mean to cut you off. You know how we usually figure out who these people are supposed to represent? Does this guy give you Lex Luthor vibes?
Lex Luthor?
I guess it's the bald head, but who does he give you? Is there any kind of vibe that he gives?
I don't get Lex Luthor from him. Lex Luthor gives kind of like, you know, sexy, like, you know.
Okay, stop it.
No, it's true. He gives, you know, a man of means, just a little evil, but he's got his shit together. This guy seems a little deranged, like a little bit too much of a mad.
And you know what it is too? He doesn't have that tan.
He doesn't have the tan. He doesn't have the swag.
No,
he's
I get
more. You. Who would he be? I just think for mad scientists.
I'm trying to think of a mad scientist because I know he's based off somebody, but I just can't figure. Like I couldn't come up with a name. I guess I thought Lex Luthor because of the bald head and the science, but it's more of Lex Luthor if he got hit with the Joker gas. But
yeah, something along those lines. Like maybe what's his name? Green Goblin before he became Green Goblin.
Well, I see what you're saying here, but I will sit here and say Green Goblin did have something that he don't have, and it's called hair. Let's throw that out.
Yeah, the hair thing. Okay.
Yeah. But let's go. Let's go. We can call him Willem Dafoe. I think let's just call him Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe has a great mane in his senior years. I don't know. He takes really good care of his hair. Great genes, William Dafoe.
Fantastic.
But Mark is missing his graduation. But I do know what one character is based off of at the graduation. The principal.
Say it.
For me, he looked like Carl Winslow. I don't know.
That was nailed it. That was. If you look in the back, I'm sorry. If you look in the back, it literally had his actual real name, and I had captions on, and it said Winslow. He's somewhat of a scientist of himself. Good job, damn it, Dan. Good job. Good job. Wish I could say that about your judging skills, but good job.
Great judge. But no, that's really cool.
No, it really is. I had so on Prime, if you pause it and whatever on the screen, they'll tell you the actors in that particular scene. And he showed up, and I said, "Carl,
golly,
that's really him." Even the design, if you really look at him,
you look just like him.
Yep, it's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. one of these days, I too wish to be immortalized in the cartoon. One of these days.
And you will see evil.
Oh yeah. Shout out to the Royal Dice Boys. But so we do also get to find out. I forget, was it in this episode? I've watched it so many times, but
Sure.
Mark gets accepted in the same college as his girlfriend, so they
That was the last
plan on going
episode.
to college together. When the graduation was over, they had like this celebratory little kickback at Adam's Eve, clubhouse, right? Her beautiful home in the trees, her tree house, right? And it was during this time they kind of all discussed what they're doing for the summer, like their plans.
Right.
Amber, Mark's girlfriend, she's going to be volunteering with some campaigns. Like, she's very busy bee. She has a lot of things she plans on doing with her summer, right? The friends, I forget his name, but the best friend, his
Yeah.
summer is about to be what I wish my summers would be. Just chilling out, watching reruns,
Reality TV.
Yeah,
Yes.
kicking back. He's living life. That's what I love to see. And Adam Eve, she's like, well, she's going to be volunteering to, not really volunteering, but her purpose is to help the little folk, right? She's trying to help rebuild things after
Chicago.
Help rebuild Chicago after all of the mess. And Mark, this season seems to be about Mark finding his purpose. And his purpose is to become a superhero. So that's what he's dedicated his summer towards. So much so that he's not even participating in this underage drinking fest that they got going on at the clubhouse.
I gotta say, the clubhouse is cool as hell. I wish I knew the location. And I also want to, and I could tell this is the summertime because, Eve's power is amazing, actually. I felt like in this episode, I really got an idea about her power, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, his name is William. Good job, Dan. But I was like, oh, this is so cool. But I said, man, them winter months must be awful. But then again, she can also just change it to woods.
She can change it to whatever her mind, thinks of, which is amazing.
That is an amazing ability. Like, I've never thought about having that as an actual superpower. So I just think that's amazing.
I would love it. Actually, in My Hero Academia, there's a character who's also a girl with a similar power, but hers isn't as hers is more limited. I forget the name of the character, but she can only pull it from like her skin, exposed skin, which gives a reason to have a skimpy outfit. It's anime. And also she can only pull from stuff how she knows how to make. So she's always trying to learn how to how things are made so she can like actually do it with herself, which is interesting. I think that's awesome to add to that character. But Adam Eve has no such limitations. She just thinks it, boom.
You could tell it kind of wears her out, though. I know we're going to talk about later on, but you could tell it wears her out, but it's almost like it's no limit, but you could tell it wears her out, if that makes sense, if I word that correctly.
We got another comment here. Hello, American Dream Real Estate. This is the team on YouTube. Shout out to Vic. He'll be joining us for the next one. He has some things to take care of, but he will be here for the next show. But Adam Eve, she's in Chicago, right? She's actually being very helpful. I was like, look at her. She's just, making things happen, buildings putting back into place, going through the red tape, as was mentioned by a onlooker. Their building, I guess their home was like in shambles. There was pieces missing.
This all came from the thing with Arnie Man.
Yeah.
And they were still rebuilding.
Fight. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she was able to rebuild exactly, from nothing, because that's her power. And there was a little bit of pushback from one of the workers in the city.
Just she came off like a hater. Like, I guess she feel like I could sort of get where she's coming from. I guess she feels like this person was able to make this job easy, and then that means what do you need me for? I can kind of understand it, but I also thought she came off like such a dick to someone who made everything so much easier for you. I mean, if you have someone who can, all this stuff happened a month ago, right? Timeline wise, and they've been rebuilding this thing. It's been taking them a long time, and she was just able to.
Pop, get it done, right? And one of the residents from the building, they mentioned how they were so grateful for her, and that if she wasn't there, they don't know how long it would take because there's this eyesore right next to the building. It's like this construction site that's been like that for
It was
6
like a
years.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot, right? A lot looking a mess. And it's been that way for 6 years, she says. 6 years.
That is
Looking
horrible.
like that. Exactly. So and the fact that it's only been a month since the destruction, I'm not upset at these residents for being like, dang, when are we ever going to get this fixed? They still haven't fixed a lot right up the street. So, oh yeah, thank God for Adam Eve. She was able to rebuild. She's got, some fans. Little girls are looking up to her. She's a role model.
Yeah.
And yeah, she made it into a beautiful space. She made it into a community park, and it looked really nice. But hold on, we got a couple comments here. What's going on?
What we got here? What we got?
Having the power to create your own house, that's the dream. Could save you written. Heck yeah, you know the tax man coming for you.
That's the real villain there.
They're gonna get their cuts.
What, with or without a knife?
You think you're getting something for free? I love the focus of Eve helping people rebuild in Chicago. Gives friendly neighborhoods Spidey feels, and shows more of the superhero genre, than fighting world-ending threats. Facts. Very helpful. She's one of the good guys.
She's and also too, her mindset is different from Mark. Like, so there was something, if I could just go a little bit further back, there was a spot where, and when they were in like the tree house or the tree club or the Club Eve, they what did they say? Amber asked it, like, do you miss doing like fighting criminals? And she says, no, I want to just help people now, because she doesn't do that anymore. Her mindset is just different from what it was from the previous season. Apologies.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's honestly, I feel like that's needed as well. Like everyone doesn't have to be out here, fighting the big bad guys. There needs to be some cleanup happening. There needs to be some people looking out for the little guy. So yeah, I'm glad she's doing that in this episode. Also, we got our Guardians of the Street, right? They are still. This is a lot going on with them. Like they need their own show.
Whoa! I know. Go ahead, because whoa.
So they're fighting. They're training still, trying to get their act together under the supervision of Immortal. And during one of these training sessions, right, or one of these fights, our boy Rex gets messed up a little bad. He's looking a mess, right? He gets messed up.
He got his ass kicked.
And because he got his ass kicked, he was looking for a little R&R in the form of duplicate.
Oh my God, dude! Like this scene, so cheap plug for us. We finished the season finale of Loki. So after we were all talking after the show, and we were like, "Oh, Invincible's on. Let's," we watched it. I don't know if you guys watched it that night, but I stayed up and watched it. And I see, Rex is. It's funny with Rex, right? Rex was such an ultra dick in the last season. I feel like he's toned it down. He's still arrogant, but I kind of like arrogance. It's kind of it's a certain arrogance where he's not so much of a dick. He's just arrogant. And like Duplicate, I have a boo boo. And then when you see Duplicate, we don't talk.
Oh God!
And then when I saw that, I said, "What is happening?" Because I didn't know. Yeah, and then you see, so we call him Immortal. I keep saying, why is Abraham Lincoln getting away with this?
My thing is, okay, she's sleeping with Immortal, and then got the nerve to tell Rex Explode when he's asking for the goods. Oh, that's unprofessional.
The nerve.
Not in the workplace, and she's sleeping with the boss.
Right there. Well, that's how you're supposed to do it. I've been doing my job wrong for years.
I guess if you're gonna sleep with somebody, let it be the boss. Get some benefits.
Well, it honestly looks like Immortal's getting the benefits because he had like 4 of them.
Yes, and at what point is this considered illegal? Because
I'm glad that you said that, because you know what, I was thinking nothing, because to me, I'm looking at everyone as an adult, And like, right, this guy's like 6,000 years old compared to her, who's probably just barely 18.
Barely 18.
Barely.
Mark
So
is
when you said
18.
that, I was like, you're nasty. Immortal,
Right.
just nasty.
Just nasty. Somebody got to
You're
look
just
into
gross.
this man.
He
He's
probably, you know what
on
it
the
is? You got to
list.
remember, he came from the 1600s. So to him, that was legal.
You know what? What is up with the Guardians and their membership here? All of these people that need to be on a watch list. We got the robot. We got Immortal. Who's next?
We
Rex,
got
you
a
probably
tree
gonna
in the
essay
comment who says
somebody.
facts, go immortal or immort.
Facts,
Is that
go-
an acorn?
Not going what? No, he's about to be in prison. Lock this man up.
I mean, not for nothing. I mean, if I could be quite honest, they cannot lock him up. Like at all.
FBI, open up.
Yeah, open up, and then he just punches you through the face. Like, come on. Like, I think that would be my worst. If I had the paperwork and they said you had to arrest Immortal, I'm like, not me. I want to live.
They got to send Mark. But speaking
I think
of
we're saying
Mark,
it all wrong. I do want to throw out here, it's not Mark, it's Mark.
Mark.
There we go. Good job.
Think Mark.
Think Mark. No, think Mark. Think Mark. Yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah.
But no, Mark is it seems like he's Johnny on the spot every time. It seems like Cecil. Am I saying Cecil, right?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
He's sending him on every task possible. This man doesn't give him a second, right?
No.
Because earlier in the episode he had the fight with the bald guy, right? The bald mad scientist.
Yeah.
Not long after
Mad
that,
Lex Luthor.
Yeah, not long after that, he sent him to fight this what's his name? Darkwing.
Darkwing. Darkwing.
Darkwing.
Darkwing, yes. Yes, there we go. Look at this.
Now, clearly this is, a Batman-esque character, right? With some mystical magicals going on.
This is Batman with actually powers, man.
Yeah, exactly. Batman with powers.
I'm sorry, did I click that again?
Apparently he's in this place that has a curse on it, and it's like forever night. And when Mark gets to him, he's deranged a little bit. Like there's something wrong with him. Like he's under the impression that for one, he kind of made mention that he hears voices, so that's already like what's going on here, right? And for two, he just seems to have this vendetta against Mark personally, even though it was his father who had all of these issues.
Right. I do think though with that, because I hear what you're saying, but there's a catchphrase and it's almost like, what's it called? The sins of a father. So it lies on him, unfortunately, on Mark, although we know as the viewers on how, Mark's a pure heart, good soul, right? But because that was his father that did all that, even though it makes you I do throw this out here too, as I'm saying that, I'm like, did you guys not see the news where Haunting Man almost killed his own son? So it does make you say that. But yeah, I think this guy was deranged. I do want to touch on this on this actual scene because I really actually loved this. I loved we make our jokes on Batman all the time. Batman have no powers, and and they always say prep time Batman can beat Jesus and all this stuff. It's ridiculous, right? But I love that. I actually loved Nightwing. I like that. It was like pretty much if Bruce Wayne died, Dick Grayson would take over, or in your case, because I know you would love this, Jason Todd.
Yeah,
and there is an actual thing where he actually takes over too. By the way, where he is Batman, he has guns. It's ridiculous. But I did like this. I did like that they gave him this ability because Batman's thing was always in the shadows, but this dude was really in the shadows, and he was in the Shadowverse. There was something I really liked about this.
Send him to the Shadow Realm.
He did send him to the Shadow Realm.
Are we getting his name right? Because there's no way they were able to trademark Nightwing when we already.
No, it's Darkwing. Dark.
Okay, Darkwing.
Dark.
Okay.
It's it's almost like Darkwing Duck, but it said Darkwing. Stop. No. Yeah, because I was saying that too. Because I kept saying Nightwing. I was like, and I thought to myself, like, how did they get away with it? Oh, they said Dark.
Dark.
Because he even said he was Night Boy, and I like this, and I like where he said, "Oh, so you was the sidekick?" He said, "No, I was the assistant
Uh-huh.
That's just nasty. Or I forgot how he put it, but it was almost like to him that was the N word.
Yeah, it was insulting. Yeah, he said
Yeah,
it's
it was.
insulting to call me a
That's
sidekick.
degrading.
But was really interesting was the fact that his predecessor was working on something to enable them to better fight
I forgot what it called. It
Omni-Man.
was something Bones, and that's a play on, if I'm correct, it's a play on. You remember that metal attire Batman wore when he fought Superman?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was a
I
certain
think.
name that he had, so I thought that immediately when he said it. Although he didn't have
Mm,
that suit, but it was a play on that word. I
nice.
thought that.
So yeah, he was able to trap him into the shadow realm, but Mark, being quick on his feet and quick with the reflexes, grabbed him before he was able to get out because he was just gloating. This is the problem with these villains. They gloat too much, should have just locked him in there, no explanation, boom, right? But he came back to, tell him his evil plans or how smart he was. And
Right.
Mark grabbed him up and was able to force him to let them both free. Else they would be both trapped in there and devoured by whatever's in the shadow
But
realm.
this scene was right here because I think you was touching on something earlier, like in this season or this episode. Mark's trying to like find his way in life and stuff, but also too, Mark is trying to prove that he is not his dad. That's like really the key thing. And one of the things that Darkwing said, Darkwing said to him is like, he said something about you're his father, and when he grabbed him and he kept him in there, and he was like, "You wouldn't." He said, "Like you said, I'm like my father."
Oh
And
yeah.
I thought that was such a good, touch because
Yeah, because he
I
can
think
use
it
it when
plays
you need
into
it.
something.
Use it when you need it. When your daddy got this bad reputation, man, sometimes you gotta pop it out. Like I don't know if probably a lot of people didn't watch this show, so I don't think it did very well. But Vikings, the season, the spinoff, there's this
Sure.
character called what was his name? Greenleaf something. And his father was really known for being badass, and that's how he kind of like got around. Even though in his inside he didn't feel that way, but that's kind of how Mark is known. He's sometimes you don't want to be like Omni Man. But
No.
at the end of the day, Omni-Man has this reputation of being a badass. He has this. His name precedes him, so there is
Sure.
some benefits that you would get by being his son. It is what it is, right?
Sure.
So he was able to get himself out of that, but not long after that, Cecil calls him for something else. Like he's always calling him for something. And apparently the underworld people, the what's it called?
I feel like they said not aquarium, Atlantis, but I
Yeah,
feel like they played.
Atlanteans.
Yeah,
Who
Atlantis.
never trademarked this damn? Why are there Atlanteans in every universe in DC and Marvel?
Marvel, right,
It must be under public domain because everyone is using them. But
I did want to touch real quick before you go into that segment. When he was fighting Darkwing, because the mother I think played a big part in this episode too. I mean, I was talking about the biggest enemy in this thing. We're talking about taxes and stuff, but the biggest enemy in this episode was the cabin door that kept opening and she kept trying to slam it. But she confronts Cecil, sitting there saying Mark is only barely 18. You keep calling him in for this and this, and Cecil, he's supposed to be like the Nick Fury of this thing. He's holding back a lot of informations and secret, even saying, well, no, Mark did come to him. That was true. It was something that he said that I was like, what? And even when they see Donald, who reminds me so much of, oh God, there's a pun here, but I just can't even think of it. Dilbert. If anyone remember the comics of Dilbert, he wore these glasses. His tie was always upside down. But who they show every time if you watch they play replay from the last season, he blows up, but he's there, and the mother's like, "Is that Donald?"
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure out how did he come back. I feel like I gotta watch season 1 again.
He's a clone, right?
I don't think they ever explained it, but he's probably a clone. I just don't feel like they ever explained it.
Let us know in the comments what's up with that.
Yes,
guy.
Dan.
Clone. Let us know. But speaking of clone-like abilities,
yes,
our Guardians of the Street, they're introduced to this character, this other character.
What are they called? The Lizard League?
And
The Lizard League. That was the. I don't even know who they're based off at this point. At this point, I was like, wait, what?
But no, the character is the shapeshifter, right? The
Hmm.
shapeshifter. And
The alien. Yep.
earlier in the episode,
Yes.
um, they he turned into Martian, right? This Martian character, and I'm
No, he
thinking,
is a Martian. You know what it
but
is?
no, he's not.
What, the Martian?
He's not the Martian that was in part of the Guardians.
Oh, no, 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 no. He's the Martian from one of the episodes from season. No, I get what you're saying because I was a little confused because it's been a while since I've watched season one, and you see this thing. So it is hilarious because he's trying to portray a human. He don't know how to be a human. He's going to the bathroom. He's like, you could be a human. He's trying to get himself together. He's putting water on his face. The chief comes in. He's wasting a whole bunch of napkins, which is actually really frustrating. And he said, please, please don't kill me. Don't kill me in my 3-chamber heart.
Uh-huh.
Which if I immediately heard that, I'm like, well, how many hearts?
Right.
You have to go. 3? And then, and also too, and I know, like, he was in the privacy of his house. Eating frozen pizza, that is disgusting.
Frozen, yeah, they didn't heat it up. I like frozen pizza, but you gotta cook it first.
Yeah.
but but no, from later in the episode, at least this is what I kind of gathered from it. He isn't part of that Martian race. He's some unknown third alien that killed that Martian race and took over their spaceship and went to Earth. Because when he was telling his backstory, his made up, oh, I'm a human and I got powers from a literally a mess, right? Just making it up out of the air. It seemed to me, and I could be wrong, that he is like some sort of invader type of alien. And that's how he's able to, infiltrate. And he took their ship and came to Earth. But I could be wrong. Hold on.
Yeah, it's been so long since I watched season 1 that I'm confused. But like when they play these playbacks or these previous episodes, I'm like, oh, right. So yeah, I thought they were the same, like the same species. Excuse me.
But yeah, there was the one scene where like he killed them off and like. But anyway. That's what I got from it. But Don reminds me of Coulson, who died in Avengers 1. Theoretically, he could be a clone, and Cecil probably copied most of his memories before his OG's death. I'm feeling like he could be a clone for sure.
Well, who's to say that was even the OG? Who's to say that this haven't been going on for a while?
Ooh, true.
You know, I mean, you gotta remember that Cecil. The thing with Cecil, he's so secretive, and he's not telling the truth about a lot of things. So it makes me go, that wasn't the OG. That might be for us as the viewers, but that could have been Donald 10. I don't know.
Some. Yeah. But also in the episode, we're dealing with Mom. Mom is still dealing with her own stuff, right? She's dealing with the loss of her husband, the anger of being lied to for all of those years, 20 years. And she's a real estate agent. And during showing one of her properties, she kind of got triggered by how the husband was treating the wife of her 2 clients, right? And she just seems like she's holding on to so much anger through the whole episode, and misplaced anger. She's angry at Cecil. She's angry at everyone. She's angry at this couple. And
well, more the male, but
the male of the couple. And later in the episode, closer to the end, and she's even angry at Cecil for the shoddy repair work of the cabinetry in her kitchen, right? She's just upset. So,
I mean, honestly though, she had a point. Look, I have a dresser right here, right? I'm gonna do this. I would be mad if I had to keep doing this.
Yeah, that's true.
Please don't break.
Just get it corrected. She is so much so that she's later in the episode, she freaks out. She's fast. She tries to go home and get her wine down on. She get her glass out the cabinet, got a bottle of wine ready to go, right? But the cabinet, of course.
That was the main villain of this episode.
The cabinet.
The cabinet. I mean, I was irritated with that. I said, damn, this guy's winning.
And it didn't close right. And she spazzed out, honey. She just slammed on everything. She broke the glasses. she just had like a moment where she just
Yeah.
released all of her anger in a very, I guess it could be
I feel like it was
therapeutic,
differently.
but it didn't seem
Yeah.
healthy, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say I just feel like this stuff has just been held in, and also too something that she said earlier in the episode was that everything still must be raw because once again I'm glad that they mentioned this. This was a month after everything, so
Hmm.
everything it still takes time. It still it still takes time to heal, and everything is still
Very
raw.
fresh,
Hey,
yeah.
Charmaine. Yes. So.
But so Mark sees her, right? He just so happens to see her in her breakdown, which is horrible because if you have a breakdown, the last thing you want is for somebody to see it, right? Least of all, your son, like your
Right.
child, you definitely don't want them to see it. But he sees it. And they have like this moment where they're looking at each other. And he goes into comfort his mom. And it was, really a really touching scene. But apparently, yep, look, very beautiful. He's there
Mhm.
for his mother. No one, she doesn't seem like she has any support, honestly. It's Mark has her, but who does she have? She doesn't have anyone. So I can imagine how tough that would be for her.
Right.
But you do have one more image of the
I
comic book
do. I
version.
mean, and you said you wanted to read this on here, so I'll put it up and please take the floor, madam.
So we saw what happened in the show, and this is actually taken from the comics. So if we look at what was written in the bubble, it says, "Why did you have to fight him, Mark? Why did you have to drive him away?" So her. I wonder if this is an underlying feeling that they haven't gone over yet in the show, or if this is a complete divergence of what how she feels in the comics. You see what I'm saying?
No, I get
Be-
you. It makes you wonder, like, if we didn't get to that part yet in the show, or if they just said, "Hey, that was in the comics, but we're going to take a different route on the show."
yeah.
And it's interesting to see where this goes. I mean, we're only 2 episodes into this. So far, I think a fantastic written show. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I saw this on Twitter, and I said, "Man, I should probably bring this on air because I just." A lot of times when we see stuff with comics and movies or some kind of adaptation of something live or whatever, and they take certain things from the comics and then they don't, and they add their own stuff. But I wanted to bring this on because it just caught my eye. I was like, wow, that's what's going. Because I get this, and I'm like, you're blaming Mark for this? Mark
Mhm.
almost died.
Yeah.
He almost died in the mountains, and you're saying that? So I don't know where this goes, but I just thought it was interesting to bring on. But what are
I
your
can see
thoughts?
it. I can see it. When people are angry, they can sometimes misplace that anger. There could be a lot of emotions because she's grieving. There's a lot of emotions going through the grieving process, right? And that's why I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it's something that they kind of uncover in a couple episodes. Maybe something that she lets slip. Um, because yeah, there is all of these emotions that you're dealing with and processing. But if they completely did away with that and decided to make her motivations different in the show, I can understand that as well.
I
But
did
what,
want to touch because there was a spot early in the episode where she says like you don't have to prove anything to anybody, Mark, because she wanted to. Mark graduated, right? You mentioned it earlier. Mark graduated. She wanted to give him a gift. They wanted to go. I think she wanted to go to like the Bahamas or something like that. And he's like, no, I can't because I'm on Cecil call. And she said, you don't have to always do that. You don't always have to do that. You're still a kid, and he's
mhm,
fighting. And he's like, no, I'm not a kid anymore. He said, you don't have to prove anything. You're not your dad. And he even says, then why did you say that?
mhm,
So
mhm.
it's things like that that makes me interested in where this season is going. I think there's a lot of good stuff going on here. We didn't even talk about the fight in Atlantis where Mark fought that big fish thing, and he thought he
Yeah.
was gonna have to marry a fish.
Uh-huh.
Which I would have been very upset. I don't think I would have been here if he married a fish. I just said, what kind of deviant art stuff is this?
Hey, whatever
And deviant
works,
art is a
whatever
terrible
works
place.
for the peace, for the peace of the land.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't be marrying no fish. I was just going to say they gonna. What they said. Cecil said if you don't marry her or whatever, they're gonna take over this part of the sea. I don't care. I don't
Mhm.
live in the sea. That don't affect me.
But no, I did like that fight scene. I honestly, I feel like it was maybe just kind of
Not a fight scene, but
gratuitous,
here's the
but
wife.
I did like it. Um, but later, this is what confused me. This is at the end of the episode, right?
Sure.
We see our guy Angstorm, right? The brain, right? The big brain with the portals.
Season 3 King. We might as well.
Yeah. Aang Dynasty.
King Dynasty.
Not Kang, Aang Storm, Aang Dynasty.
Aang Storm.
So,
You see how Aang look? That's usually me when I don't get the right payment at my job. Look at that. Look at this guy. This guy look very upset. Look at that goatee. Go ahead.
so he has Mark in this contraption. And yeah, Mark in this contraption. And he has a variant of Cecil and a variant of what's his name, Coulson, who are women and are telling him, hey,
Oh, that was hilarious.
This is, do with him what you will. So I'm like, this can't be the Mark that we know. This has got to be an alternate universe Mark, right?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that.
I'm asking. This is not the Mark. This is not our Mark that he has.
No, it's not.
Okay, so he's going through every dimension looking for Mark to bring him to justice. This is what it looks like. So, how many dimensions are there? There's literally, I think he said.
You gotta remember, he can travel into multiple different things. So he's going to all these universes or these timelines where I don't know if this is the same timeline where episode 1. Yeah, I don't know if that's the same one. But it seemed like his goal is to just eliminate all of I said infinite. I'm sorry, Invincible.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Matter of fact, because I'm not sure because we never saw the when we saw episode 1 and all this stuff was going, we never saw the female versions of these characters. So I'm not sure. But it's interesting because it makes you wonder where they're going, and a lot of people are still having hope about a certain character showing up eventually. I don't know if we get that, but I'm looking forward. Yeah, I know, to see how Marvel plays, right? But I'm looking forward to keep going because I think so far 2 episodes in, I can sit here and say I'm like, man, I'm really having a good time watching this. So I can't wait to do episode 3 with you. I know we'll have our third trio or trio of destiny to do it, and I can't wait to be back here and talk more Invincible. And you guys should tune back up here too to talk Invincible with us.
Please do. If you like the video, don't forget to like the video. Before we go, we'll read this one last comment here. During the fight with the sea monster, Cecil discovered Mark is vulnerable to sonic frequency sounds. Yes, he would like to use this as his kryptonite contingency plan. Facts. And even the mom mentioned you're like trying to find something against him or like working. That he's always has a plan, right? He's the Batman. He's the Batman with the contingency plans, and he's definitely going to use that for later. 100%.
I'm glad that he said that because I didn't even think that. I knew it was something like there's something with Cecil because she even said, "Then what?" And it's like he's testing. It's really good. It's a really good call.
Good job. It was subtly placed. So yeah, great catch, Dan. But yeah, thanks for watching. Join us next week for this
episode 3.
Episode 3, possibly something else. You never know. Follow us on social media. We'll let you know there. And talk to you later. Bye.